Self-sabotage doesn't just crash into your life like a wrecking ball. It sneaks in quietly, disguised as a single thought. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. What if I fail? That little whisper snowballs into hesitation, and hesitation always turns into procrastination. And before you know it, you're still stuck at the starting line. You're sitting there watching this video right now. So you've been there, and you already felt how procrastination slowly leads to you feeling guilty. And before you even realize it, you've sabotaged the very thing that you said you wanted most in life. How many times? How many times have you put off making improvements to your business, making your own great content instead of just consuming it or even getting in the best shape of your life? This is just a glimpse into one of the many ways that you can self-sabotage your own success, even when you already know how to manifest it. But when you zoom out, when you take a look at the big picture, it's clear that it's really just a product of fear. I'm going to walk you through this pattern and the exact way to break free from it, because that's what manifestation actually is. When you combine intention with action, you manifest. So here's what's going on under the hood that keeps you from taking action. Anything new, anything foreign or unknown gets flagged by your subconscious mind as dangerous, even if it's exactly what you've been aiming to have. If it feels like learning to train your subconscious mind is a little bit non-linear, it's because your wiring treats success in certain areas as unfamiliar. And the lack of familiarity there scares the hell out of the belief system that isn't programmed to win. I prefer to label self-sabotage as an extremely elaborate coping mechanism. It's the mind's obtuse way of keeping you safe, trading abundance for the comfort of familiarity. It's the invisible program that's responsible when you undercut your own ability to accomplish your goals. This shows up in the mind of a business owner who finally starts to gain momentum with sales, but distracts themselves by endlessly tweaking their product. It shows up in the person who keeps chasing higher educational pursuits, one degree after another, just to feel worthy of making more money while piling up a suffocating amount of debt in the background. It shows up in the mind of the person who says they want commitment, but pushes it right on down the stairs the moment someone shows more interest than they're used to getting, because maybe, just maybe, it's too good to be true. Has any one of these scenarios ever happened to you? When you experience it, it doesn't even have to be an immediate action when it happens. It can simply just be a thought that gets played on repeat over and over again. That thought will persuade you to stop before you even start, or lead you to unconsciously set things up in a way that guarantees that it won't work out. All of this is happening under the hood in the deepest parts of your mind. So what's the solution? It's time for forgiveness. The most underestimated action of them all. That's the first step whenever you discover yourself to be knee-deep in the swamp of self-sabotage. But this brand of forgiveness is not for other people this time, not just yet. It's for you. Y-O-U. You. Yes, no one other than the main character themselves. If you choose to skip this step, you're volunteering to stay in a negative spin cycle, and it's going to leave the entire world fascinated with how you always seem to figure out the most efficient way to be your own worst enemy. That's what we're not going to do. Agreed? Shake my hand. All right, we have a deal. Now that we agree, let's walk through the secondary steps on how not to self-sabotage yourself moving forward, because there are ways to call out how you're holding yourself back without ripping your self-esteem to shreds during the process. There are 5 ways that a healthy mind can self-sabotage itself, and 5 ways, to stop doing it. Method number 1, perfectionism. Mr. or Miss Perfect, is that you? This one can fly under the radar because perfectionism is one of those cheap tricks your ego plays that looks pretty tame at first. If the shoe fits, wear it. You may be proud of this, in fact. It can simply feel like you're just trying to hold up your own high standards. But below the surface is one of the most common ways you can hold yourself back from success. Nothing ever feels good enough. The work, the money, the relationships, any and all progress, and sometimes even the results themselves. The goalpost just keeps on moving further and further. As a matter of fact, perfectionism isn't just really about wanting things to be excellent. It's about fear. Fear of being judged, fear of being rejected, fear of not being flawless all the damn time. So instead of just putting your work out, putting your product out, putting your art out, putting your content out there and letting it grow, you end up tweaking it into oblivion until that window of opportunity slams shut in your face. Or sometimes before you even start something, your brain is already thinking about the hundreds of ways that it can go wrong. And when just getting started feels that heavy, it's easier to procrastinate or just put it off completely. That perfectionism makes you feel safe by not taking action. Ironic, isn't it? But what actually happens when you choose the path of comfort? You fail by default. You don't put your heart on the line. You don't invest in yourself. You procrastinate on putting yourself out there. This is the blueprint for aggressively avoiding success, and it's 100% guaranteed. And the more you delay, the more your mind reinforces the lie that you weren't ready anyway. The way out of this deep, dark rabbit hole is giving yourself permission to drop the concept of perfection. Success is a staircase. Every step that takes you higher and higher was once a failure that you learn from. You don't actually master anything without tripping over yourself a few times. Let's swap out those P words, shall we? The name of the game is now progress over perfection. Every time you put something out before it feels perfect, you take back your power from the part of you, the part of your mind that's been keeping you stuck in negative cycles. Think of your imagination as a movie screen playing teaser trailers for the coming attractions of your life. When you see yourself winning and living it like it's already there, like it's already a normal day, that's the proof that you already have everything inside you to make it real. So just get started. Method number 2, opinions. Self-sabotage loves to feed on the opinions of others. The cure here is simple. Trust your own intuition more than you trust their doubts. The moment you stop outsourcing your beliefs about yourself, your passions, or your progress to others, you stop handing over the keys to your personal success. But alas, this is where a lot of people just like you trip themselves up regardless of knowing much better. We naturally crave the approval of other human beings. So let's just say that you have an idea for a product that you want to put out. Let's just say that. You finally start making progress on that concept, and then you pause to see what everyone and their mama thinks about it. Before you know it, you've given more weight to the opinions of others rather than your own vision. You second guess yourself and you don't publish it. That's self-sabotage in clever disguise yet again. When you're seeking validation, you're actually seeking the approval to avoid failure. That is fear, and the mirror principle dictates that it must be reflected right back to you through other people. Especially your friends, sometimes your family. Most times they are just reflecting back their own doubts in themselves when they see your progress. Remember that one because we'll be revisiting that dynamic in a few minutes. Fear is a complex ingredient, so avoid cooking with it at all costs by only valuing your own opinion in the early stages of manifesting anything. Now, here's the ancient secret technique I've learned and I'm teaching you right now. You don't need anyone's permission to succeed in life. You don't need anyone's validation to be content. If you keep finding yourself constantly asking or seeking out other people's approval, stop and ask yourself this question. Does this person have what I want? Have they reached the same level of progress that I've made? If the answer is no, then why should they have any power to veto your vision? This is where you perfect the art of trusting yourself. Just trying to answer these valuable questions is all it takes to snap out of self-sabotage mode. And before we continue, I want to let you know something. I want to let you know that for the next 7 days, I'm offering a free trial to my INNERVERSE program. This is my entry-level self-mastery program packed to the brim with my advanced courses and coaching for creators, entrepreneurs, and anyone ready to reprogram their subconscious mind for success. The monthly subscription is usually $55, but as a thank you for supporting Here Nor There, I invite you to step inside and experience it with 0 strings attached. Just comment "upgrade me" and I'll send you the invite. Method number 3, unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations might look a little bit like ambition, but they're actually one of the slickest ways your ego sabotages you. Picture this. You commit to building an entire website for a product that you're launching in a week. Start to finish. Day 1, you feel unstoppable. You're pretty sure that you can just get AI to build the whole thing. But day by day, you're buried in errors, you're buried in setbacks, and you're way behind schedule. Turns out AI isn't as easy as everybody told you it was. By day 7, the site is half done and you don't like it and you're drained, and the only thing left is feeling that you fell short. Self-sabotage, as usual, just cosplaying as ambition. Instead of seeing the actual progress that you made, you feel like a failure. That disappointment turns into fuel to the new negative belief, the new negative program. I can't finish what I start. But that's not true. What really happened is that you set an expectation that almost guaranteed failure. The self-sabotage wasn't in failing to finish. It was in choosing a finish line that was highly unrealistic in the first place. The ego loves this little trick because it feels like protection. By setting the bar impossibly high, you get to prove to yourself that it was just too much, too fast, and you were right to pull back. But it's just another elaborate way of staying comfy inside the prison of self doubt. Breaking out of this means that you're learning to take the pressure off timelines and using your imagination to work for you instead of against you. Instead of setting a finish line you might trip and stumble over eventually, if you ever make it, that is, visualize the end result as if it's already done. See the website complete, live, and working exactly how you want it. Your unconscious mind is extremely powerful, and it will start to scan for all the opportunities, pathways, and perfect people to help you get it done. So allow it, give it a reasonable amount of time to unfold rather than forcing a strict deadline that's not even necessary. When you hone in on that feeling without forcing a deadline, you bypass all of the turbulence that comes with trying to micromanage your reality. The vision becomes 93 octane fuel, and that energy naturally accelerates you toward the organic actions that'll make it real. Method number 4, seeing other people win. Envy is one of the most subtle forms of self sabotage. Just plain hating, just plain being a hater. Someone you know is putting in the work or already receiving the reward for the very same thing you yourself have been secretly manifesting, and instead of feeling inspired, you feel that sting in your chest. When it's left unchecked, envy forces you to hyperfocus on comparing yourself and makes your own path much more harder to receive than it should be, if you feel what I'm saying. The danger in envy isn't just the emotion itself, it's the story that it creates to your subconscious mind. Every single time you feed into it, you're telling yourself that someone else's win somehow takes away from yours. Isn't that crazy? There's enough abundance in this world for everybody to experience. Everybody can win. When you see someone accomplishing what you want, it's not social proof that you're inferior or that you're behind. It's evidence that you're aligned with that exact frequency. The frequency of abundance, that is. You wouldn't even notice their success. You wouldn't even be around it if it wasn't already vibrating in your field. Their breakthrough is showing up in your awareness because your subconscious is drawing you closer and closer to that same reality. Yes, that means you're next. When envy shows up, you're at a crossroads. You're going to have to make a decision. You can either sabotage yourself by spiraling into comparison, or you can transmute that into fuel. The moment you choose to celebrate someone else, you step out of the lack channel and into the abundance channel. So instead of being a hater, when you see someone else manifest what you want, celebrate them, applaud them, give them what you want people to give you when you arrive. Feel the joy of their success like it's a preview of your own, because that's exactly what it is. Method number 5, fear of success. There's just one more layer to self-sabotage that is nasty. It's a nasty little paradox, the fear of success itself. You self-destruct and plant your flag on one of the other 4 excuses I spoke on. You stall your own momentum because you're afraid of just how much winning might change your life. This is what's known as the Jonah complex, the fear of being your very best. It's the pushback that shows up when you get very, very close to your own greatness. Success feels too big, too heavy, too exposed, so you back away from it. Deep down, you know that you're talented. You know that you have a gift, but the fear of living at your highest level keeps you hiding out at your lowest, where it's nice and comfy. The ego mind breaks out its best tricks and it lays them out here because the fear of success feels surprisingly safe. If you don't go all in, you don't have to actually risk growing apart from people you care about. You don't have to take the responsibility of being a leader. You don't have to risk being seen on a mass level. But all of those are illusions, the bars of the same mental prison you've been trying to break out of all of this time. And the longer you sit behind them, the more you deny yourself the life that you've been imagining. So the escape plan, I'm going to give it to you. You build a self-concept that can actually hold success. You remind yourself every single day who you are and where you're going. Daily affirmations, scripting, visualizing. Pick your own adventure. It's not spiritual woo. It's not hippy dippy rituals. It's neurological training. You're rewiring your brain to release the identity that used to be afraid and replacing it with an identity that's already comfortable with the success that you're stepping into. All by first deciding what you want to be in your mind's eye first. Your subconscious mind can only process the now, and your greatness isn't some future event. It's the state that you can choose right this moment. I'm nudging you to stop dodging, to stop ducking your potential and start living it. Stop hiding behind your beliefs or excuses so you can step into your best self, and the world will open up in ways you couldn't script out any better. That's how you turn self-sabotage into self-mastery. That's it for today. But if you want to work with me one-on-one to reshape your subconscious mind for success, join my INNERVERSE program. For the next 7 days, I'm extending the free trial period so you can come on in and see what my program, its courses, and my specific brand of coaching is all about for yourself. If this opportunity speaks to you, and it should, it's free, why not? Click on the link down below in the description and book a call today. I am Shaun, and you are neither here nor there. Thank you for sharing your time and space with me.